How is your general knowledge prowess? Here are 50 tantalizingly tricky general knowledge questions for you. Remember to grab a pen and paper to record your scores and let us know how you did. Shall we begin? Proceed. Which food is high in iron? Chicken, milk, or dark chocolate? It's actually dark chocolate. Yes, pound for pound, dark chocolate contains much more iron than either chicken or milk. Question 2. In which forest did Robin Hood live? Nottingham, Sherwood, or Epping? A lot of you probably got this one right. According to the legends, Robin Hood and his merry men famously resided in Sherwood Forest. On to the next one. Question 3. Which mythological character flew too close to the sun? Daedalus, Icarus, or Minos? Okay, if you said Icarus, you're right. Daedalus was Icarus's father, and Minos was the king for whom Daedalus worked. Okay, question 4. Who won the 2023 to 2024 Premier League? Manchester City, Arsenal, or Chelsea? It was Manchester City. They also won the previous 3 seasons too. Geography next. Question 5. What is the capital of Peru? Cusco, Machu Picchu, or Lima? It's Lima! Cusco was the capital of the Incan Empire, and Machu Picchu is an abandoned city in the Andes that lay undiscovered until 1911. Okay, question 6. How many planets are in the solar system? 7, 8, or 9? There are 8 planets. There used to be 9 until the experts decided that Pluto wasn't a planet anymore. Poor Pluto. Okay, question 7. A movie question now. Who played the role of Amélie Poulain in the 2001 film Amélie? Marion Cotillard, Audrey Tautou, or Juliette Binoche? Any idea? It was Audrey Tautou. Amélie was a huge international hit when it was released and remains the top-grossing French-language film in the United States to this day. Très bien. Question 8. How many strings does a violin typically have? 4, 6, or 8? That's right, the traditional violin has 4 strings, tuned G, D, A, E. Violins with more strings do exist, however, with some even going up to 8 strings. Question 9. True crime now. Which serial killer operated in Whitechapel, London in 1888? Harold Shipman, Jack the Ripper, or H.H. Holmes? I think most of you would have got this one. It's Jack the Ripper. As for the others, Harold Shipman was a doctor from England who killed over 200 of his patients, a fact which was only discovered after he was arrested in 1998 for the suspected murder of one of his patients. And H.H. Holmes was a serial killer who operated in the United States in the 1890s. He was rumoured to have killed 133 people, although accounts were exaggerated at the time by the press. Lovely. Okay, question 10. Mathematics. Which of these numbers is not a prime? 17, 43, or 57? The answer is 57. Remember, a prime number is one that can only be divided by itself or by 1. Here, 57 can be divided by 1, 3, 19, and 57, so it's not a prime. Okay, question 11 now. Which country has a flag that uses only green, black, and yellow? Jamaica, Zimbabwe, or Togo? Any idea? It's Jamaica. Zimbabwe's flag has green, gold, red, black and white, while Togo's has red, white, green and yellow. Sport now. Question 12. How many players are on each side in a game of cricket? 6, 9 or 11? Yes, there are 11 players on each side in a game of cricket, similar to football. Okay, question 13. Who discovered penicillin? Alexander Fleming, Linus Pauling, or Albert Einstein? It was Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin in 1928. As for the others, well, I don't think Albert Einstein needs too much of an introduction. Linus Pauling was a chemist who won a Nobel Prize for his research into the nature of the chemical bond and its application to the elucidation of the structure of complex substances. Fascinating. Okay, a food question now. Question 14. Which food is not fermented? Kimchi, chocolate, or ice cream? It's ice cream. Kimchi, which comes from Korea, is fermented cabbage. And as for chocolate, the cacao pods and seeds are fermented for about 7 days before being dried and roasted. So now you know. A couple of music-related questions now. Who originally sang the theme from New York, New York? Jack Jones, Liza Minnelli, or Frank Sinatra? It was Liza Minnelli. Yes, in the movie, which was directed by Martin Scorsese, the song was sung by Liza Minnelli, and then later it became a huge hit for Frank Sinatra after he started performing it in his shows. Okay, question 16. Which country won the 2024 Eurovision Song Contest? Sweden, Switzerland, or Denmark? It was Switzerland. They won with the song called The Code, sung by Swiss singer Nemo. I've never heard it, but I'm sure it's very good. Okay, the animal kingdom now. Question 17. In which species of bird is the egg incubated by the father? The hummingbird, the emperor penguin, or the chicken? Any idea? It's the emperor penguin. Yes, the father is responsible for incubating the egg. This is actually more common in bird species than most people realize, with spotted sandpipers and cassowaries among the other species where the dads do this. Okay, sport now. Question 18. In which sport is Naomi Osaka famous? Tennis, volleyball, or football? That's right, tennis. although she doesn't seem to play much of it these days. Question 19. Geography. Which mountain range separates France and Spain? The Alps, the Pyrenees, or the Urals? It's the Pyrenees! Stretching for 430 kilometers and reaching a height of 3,400 meters, the Pyrenees essentially cut off the Iberian Peninsula from the rest of Europe. The Alps separate the Italian peninsula from the rest of Europe, and the Urals separate Europe from Asia. So there we are. Okay, a finance question now. Which investor is known as the Oracle of Omaha? Benjamin Graham, Peter Lynch, or Warren Buffett? It's Warren Buffett! One of the world's most successful investors, he gained this nickname due to the fact that the investment community closely follow his investments. That's why. Question 21. Which ingredient is not used in traditional spaghetti carbonara? Cream, eggs, or cheese? Yes, it's cream. If you want to know one way to annoy an Italian, it's by making spaghetti carbonara with cream. So don't do it. Okay, question 22. Which animal is more closely related to humans? The bear, the lemur, or the kangaroo? It's the lemur. They are primates native to Madagascar, and since humans are primates too, we are more closely related to them than to bears or kangaroos. Okay, question 23. In which decade did American President Richard Nixon resign? The 60s, the 70s, or the 80s? He resigned in the 1970s. In 1974 to be exact, after the so-called Watergate scandal and his impending impeachment. Okay, there's a TV series question now. Question 24. In Game of Thrones, what is the name of Jon Snow's direwolf? Ghost, Summer, or Nymeria? Any idea? Jon Snow's direwolf was called Ghost. He survived by the end of the series after taking part in the Battle of Winterfell. He's a very good boy. Okay, question 25. In the Bible, which of these kings sacrificed his own son? Hezekiah, Solomon, or Mesha? It was Mesha. A number of kings sacrificed their children in the Bible. Apart from Mesha, who was king of Moab, there was also Jephthah, who sacrificed his daughter. Abraham almost sacrificed his son, but stopped after God told him to chill out. Okay, we're halfway now. Question 26. Who wrote Bridge Over Troubled Water? Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, or Paul Simon? Do you remember? It was Paul Simon of Simon and Garfunkel fame, a huge hit for them in 1970. Later in the same year, there were separate recordings by Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, and Mary Clayton. Johnny Cash did his version in 2006. Okay, question 27, mathematics. Which type of angle is always present in triangles? Acute, obtuse, or right? It's the acute angle. Every triangle has at least two acute angles. Okay, question 28. Here's an English literature question for you. Which of these books was written by Jane Austen? Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre, or Pride and Prejudice? Any idea? Jane Austen wrote Pride and Prejudice. Wuthering Heights was written by Emily Bronte, and Jane Eyre by her sister Charlotte. Easy to mix up, isn't it? Now for science. Question 29. What is the science that studies human artifacts from the past? Paleontology, anthropology, or archaeology? It's archaeology. I wanted to be an archaeologist at one point. Paleontology is the study of non-human fossils, while anthropology is the systematic study of humanity. On a related note, here's one about history. Question 30. Where was the ancient trading city of Carthage located? Southern Europe, North Africa, or the Middle East? Yes, Carthage was in North Africa, in present-day Tunisia. It began as a Phoenician colony and grew into one of the most significant trading hubs in the Mediterranean. Hannibal hailed from Carthage and fought the Romans in the Second Punic War, famously leading war elephants over the Alps. Blimey. Question 31 now, geography. What is the longest beach in the world? Cox's Bazar, 90 Mile Beach, or Playa do Casino? It's Playa do Casino in Brazil, in the state of Rio Grande do Sul. It stretches for 220 kilometers, which is 136 miles. 90 Mile Beach, located in New Zealand, is actually 88 kilometers or only 55 miles. Cox's Bazar is a city in Bangladesh with a beach that extends for 150 kilometers or 93 miles. So there we are. Question 32. In painting, which colours make orange? Yellow and blue, yellow and red, or red and blue? It's yellow and red. Yellow and blue make green, while red and blue create purple. Here's a modern history question for you. In which year did Pope Benedict XVI resign? 2013, 2015, or 2017? Yep, he resigned in 2013 due to health concerns, leading to the rare situation of having two living popes. The last time this occurred was over 600 years ago. Question 34. Sport now. Where was the equestrian game polo invented? India, China, or Persia? It originated in Persia, or Greater Persia to be precise. Known as the sport of kings, it's believed to have started as a training game for cavalry units. Here's a tricky one for you now. How do you write the number 197 in Roman numerals? I won't say them, but you can read the options. It's option B, CXCVII. C represents 100, XC is 90, and VII is 7. When combined, they total 197. Thank goodness for Arabic numerals is all I can say. Okay, question 36. In Lord of the Rings, how many members were in the Fellowship of the Ring? 6, 9, or 12? Do you know? There were 9 members in the Fellowship of the Ring: the hobbits Frodo, Samwise, Merry and Pippin, the dwarf Gimli, the elf Legolas, the humans Aragorn and Boromir, and the wizard Gandalf. Another literature question now. Question 37. Who wrote Whitefang? Jack London, Mark Twain, or Truman Capote? It was Jack London. He penned numerous stories featuring wolves and dogs, another notable one being The Call of the Wild. Okay, question 38. What is the deepest part of the ocean? The Tonga Trench, the Kermadec Trench, or the Mariana Trench? It's the Mariana Trench, located in the Pacific Ocean. Its deepest point is 10.9 kilometers, or 35,876 feet. The Tonga Trench, also in the Pacific, reaches a maximum depth of 10.8 kilometers, and the Kermadec Trench, part of the same subduction zone as the Tonga Trench, is 9.9 kilometers deep. Question 39. Here's a physics question for you. Which type of radiation has a higher frequency than light? Microwaves, X-rays, or radio waves? Yes, it's X-rays. Radio waves and microwaves have lower frequencies than the visible light spectrum. So now, how well do you know boxing? Question 40. In which Olympic boxing category would a person weighing 72 kilograms compete? Featherweight, lightweight, or middleweight? In the Olympics, they would compete in the middleweight category. There are 8 weight classes in men's Olympic boxing, ranging from flyweight up to super heavyweight, with middleweight being one of the central classes. In women's Olympic boxing, there are 5 weight classes, ranging from flyweight to middleweight. Okay, question 41. We're getting there. Which group of modern vertebrates is the youngest? Birds, mammals, or reptiles? It's birds. This might surprise many, considering that birds are direct evolutionary descendants of dinosaurs, but mammals appeared on Earth before them. I didn't know that. Question 42. Who's won a Nobel, an Oscar, and is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Elton John, Bob Dylan, or Prince? It's Bob Dylan, the only person to have achieved all 3. George Bernard Shaw won a Nobel and an Oscar, but he didn't make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yet. Art now, question 43. Who painted The Birth of Venus? Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, or Botticelli? Yes, it was Botticelli, arguably his most famous work. Question 44, geometry. Which geometric shape is not present on a football or soccer ball? Is it a heptagon, a pentagon, or a hexagon? It's the heptagon, which has 7 sides. A traditional football is made up of 12 pentagonal and 20 hexagonal panels. So there you are. Okay, question 45, just 5 left. Who was the ancient British queen who burned down Roman London? Boudica, Brennus, or Ambiorix? It was Boudica. She was the queen of the Iceni tribe who lived in present-day East Anglia, in eastern England. She led a revolt against the Roman occupation of Britain in AD 60. Tough woman. Okay, question 46. Dogs now. Which of these dog breeds is believed to be the oldest? The Samoyed, the Saluki, or the Greyhound? It's the Saluki. Originally bred in the Fertile Crescent, there are wall carvings resembling the Saluki dating back to 6000 BC. Wow. Okay, logical fallacies now. Question 47. In which fallacy does one attack the person and not the argument they are making? Ad hominem, ad verecundium, or ad consequentium? Yes, it's ad hominem. It literally means to the person in Latin. Ad verecundium involves arguing using an appeal to authority, and ad consequentium is an argument based on the desirability of consequences, akin to wishful thinking. Next question. Charles Darwin now. What is the name of Charles Darwin's most famous work? The Descent of Man, On the Origin of the Species, and The Voyage of the Beagle. It's On the Origin of the Species. With this work, Darwin revolutionized biology, sparking much controversy at the time, partly due to the implication that humans are related to other apes. Okay, we're getting there. Question 49. Where was Alexander the Great born? Pella, Subura, or the Khenti Mountains? He was born in Pella, in Macedonia. Subura is the Roman neighborhood where Julius Caesar was born, and the Khenti Mountains is where Genghis Khan was born. Okay, last question. We're going to finish on a literature question. What was the name of Don Quixote's imaginary love? Marcella, Dorothea, or Dulcinea? Do you know? Her name was Dulcinea. She was conjured in the mind of the titular hero, as he believed that as a knight, he needed to have a lady to whom he could dedicate his victories. How sweet. Okay, that's the end of the quiz now. How did you do? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio!